Hey, welcome back to Driven Channel. I'm here with a very special guest from the Philippines. So you were born here, or you were born in the Philippines?
I was born in the Philippines.
In the Philippines.
Yep.
And you came here and you went to school, and then you got into now you offer company. Now you recruit for other companies, right?
Yes.
Like you help people find different positions.
That is correct. Yeah.
So like when did you get here from the Philippines, and how did you get into business and start helping companies recruit people?
Yeah.
Who is DEX?
Yes.
Is that your name, DEX?
Yes.
DEX DIONIO.
Dexter. Yeah. Dexter DIONIO, but you can call me Dex.
You go by DEX.
Yes.
Yeah. So what brought you to the US, and how did you get into the business side?
Of course. Yeah. So I come from an immigrant family.
Mm-hmm.
And growing up, I just saw my family work really, really hard. So I think that seeing that, from my upbringing, develop a good, solid work ethic. But my family moved to Maui when I was 8 years old. Yeah.
When you were 8?
When I was 8. Yeah. So.
How much different is Maui than the Philippines?
From what I can remember, it's super hot, humid. We didn't have the beaches. We lived in the northern side of the island.
You're talking about the Philippines?
For the Philippines, yeah. So.
Isn't it very, have you been back?
I have not. The last time I've been back was in 2005.
And how do you remember it in 2005?
Yeah, I do. There's just a bunch of people. But isn't it very poor? There's like a lot of poor people. It is, yeah. So it's really a bunch of people on the streets just without.
Most people are like very, very poor, and then there's really, really rich people too.
Exactly. So the ones with the really, really rich people are the ones with the cars, with the Mercedes Benz or the Jeeps.
Yeah. So you weren't by the beach over there.
I was not. I was inland.
Yeah, because Maui is like paradise.
It is. Yeah, I remember a lot.
How did you end up in Maui?
My family moved to Maui, so they.
But isn't Maui very expensive?
Yeah, it is. So
how'd you go from like the Philippines, where the cost of living is probably a penny versus $100, or I don't know.
Yeah.
But you went from like the Philippines, where the cost of living is very low, to Maui, where I think it's one of the most expensive areas in the U.S. Like how did that happen?
Yeah, so it's a long process. It took years, maybe approximately 5 to 10 years, depending on the age. But typically, a family member can petition or file some paperwork with the immigrants, the U.S. Immigration Services. They'll file in the paperwork, and then you just wait until you get approved. And I do remember back in the Philippines going to different areas of the city to be able to file the application. So from what I can remember, I think my mom said they waited 8 years for an opportunity to come to San Diego. So realizing
to come to San Diego?
I mean, to Maui,
to
sorry.
Maui.
Yeah, to Maui. Realizing that like for her to just like leave everything behind, her country, and to go to a different land where she doesn't speak English or don't know anyone is very, very,
Have you been on the road to Hana?
I have, yeah.
I don't recommend it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You like it?
I do.
Yeah?
Yeah. So
Sil made me go through the whole road, and like the locals, they're very aggressive, especially to like outsiders. So I remember we had a car, we rented a car, and we're going on the road to Hana, and the roads are just like they're very thin, and the locals, they drive like maniacs.
Yeah.
And then I don't want to go down the cliff, so I'm not driving too fast. I'm just watching how I drive, and then they're putting a lot of pressure behind me, and so and then it was like a long drive. It was like a long drive. And then we went all the way to the Black Beach. Have you been to the Black Beach?
Yeah.
Yeah, with black sand and all that.
Black Sand Beach.
Yeah, so it was cool, but it was just like the drive. Oh man, it was tough. That's right there in Maui, right?
That is, yes.
Yeah. And then when you come down, there's like a really nice restaurant.
Yep.
You been to that one?
It's called Mama's Fish House.
Yeah, Mama's Fish House.
It's the best restaurant.
Oh yeah, it's nice.
On the
it's
island.
nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So you went there before.
I have, yeah.
Yeah.
Each time I go and visit, I take my mom there and
Yeah.
take my fiance out there
Yeah.
to go eat. Yeah. It's really hard to get reservations, so you got to plan ahead of time. So each time we make a trip, we'll add that to the itinerary and just make sure we book it before we go to.
So when you moved to Maui, were you like, did you like win the lottery, or were you guys rich, or where did you live when you went to Maui?
Yeah. From what I remember, we landed. We took a little like a wagon. It was a Focus wagon car.
Yeah.
We pulled up to these condos. Right, it's 2-bedroom. But from what I can remember, there was like at least 11 to 12 people living in a 2-bedroom apartment house. So, yeah, I didn't speak any English. I was really skinny. I was, very anxious and nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you speak? Speak Tagalog?
I speak Ilocano. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that because there's different languages, right, in the Philippines?
Yeah, so that's 2 dialects. There's Tagalog and then there's Ilocano.
You don't know how to speak? You didn't know Tagalog?
I knew some parts of it, like conversationally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then what happens next? Like when you go in there, you're living with 11 people in a 2-bedroom. Like, what happens next?
I ended up going to school, elementary school. I went to finish middle school, and then throughout high school as well. Then after high school, I decided to move to San Diego and went to nursing school.
So you went to school in San Diego?
Yes.
Like high school or college?
It's just college.
College.
Yeah, for nursing.
Have you ever been to the Hyatt in Maui, where they have the penguins?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice place.
The Hyatt Regency. So each time we go back, that's where we typically stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a nice place.
When the first time the first time that we went on a trip, me and Sil, one of the first trips was Puerto Rico, like the outside trip, and then our third trip. I mean, our first outside trip was Puerto Rico, and then we went to Maui.
Okay.
But it was really fun. We stayed at the Hyatt Regency.
Yeah, it's a nice place.
Yeah.
It's not too bad to.
So then when you moved to San Diego, why did you move to San Diego? Like, wasn't Maui nicer?
It was, but it was just I was tired of just doing the same thing over and over after high school. I just worked at a restaurant. So I needed to do something much bigger. So I decided to move to San Diego and go move with my dad's family, who are nurses and also doctors, right? So I was heavily influenced in the medical and healthcare field. So, what better way to go to school if not nursing school? Yeah.
And then your mom stayed? Did you?
Yeah. So my mom's family is still in Maui. My dad's family is in San Diego.
Yeah. But your dad and your mom still live in Maui?
No, they're separated.
Oh, they're separated.
Yeah.
So your dad lives here?
Yes.
And your mom over there?
Yeah. Correct.
How often do you communicate with her a lot?
Yeah, every day. Yeah, she's actually in the Philippines right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
How far is the Philippines from Maui?
About on the plane, probably 8 to 9 hours.
Oh, wow.
It's a good 8 to 9 hours. Yeah.
How far is the Philippines from here?
From San Diego, I've never experienced it myself, but I hear it's like 12, 13 hours.
Because you have to fly past Maui to get there?
I think so.
It's probably like a triangle, huh? It's like
You might have to go to like New York or something, or some kind of stopover, or maybe LA. Yeah, you could probably fly direct from LA to Manila, Philippines. Yeah.
So then when you get to San Diego, you go to college.
Yep.
Which college did you go to?
It's called Grossmont Health Occupational Center. It's a Grossmont Community College.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get a degree there?
Yeah.
On what?
It's a nursing.
Nursing.
Yeah.
So you were supposed to be in nursing.
I was a nurse. Yeah.
You were a nurse?
I worked as an agency. I graduated in 2011, and then I worked as an agency nurse for over 4 years, working with different hospitals and facilities with the county of San Diego.
How much would you make as a nurse?
$20 an hour.
What?
Yeah.
So you went to college to make $20 an hour?
At the time, yeah, $25 an hour. Yeah.
So did college? So now you're in sales, right?
Yes.
And you said that you have to find the deals and you have to make the sale, like
Yes.
cold.
Yes.
How do you find sales, and what is it that you sell?
Yeah. So typically I have still trying to work on my process, but typically I've been recruiting for over 8 years. In total, I've placed over 1,300 professionals. So I usually sell my services. So my avatar is small size, mid size, or large size businesses who's looking to hire, who needs help with their hiring plans or hiring goals.
Or hiring what? Or
Their goals.
their goals?
Yeah.
What type of positions do you hire?
I typically I work on all industries. It could be executive search, could be in accounting, it could be CFOs, it could be CEOs, it could be program directors for institutions and schools, nurses, doctors, medical doctors. Recently, I just hired an optometrist for Chico, California. So
what about salespeople? Do you hire salespeople?
I have not hired salespeople, but I might have someone on my team that could better service the client. Yeah, because they have more experience.
What about executive assistants?
Yeah, we could do that too. Yeah.
So if I want to hire an executive assistant, because I want to replace Maria, how would it look like? How would you find her?
Yeah. So definitely, typically clients and businesses would reach out to us because one, they don't know where to find candidates, right? Two, it's taking time to fill and they need to find someone immediately and urgently. And then three, they're getting not qualified candidates through the job postings or the job ads. But typically we would meet with the clients first and kind of go through our process, what they're looking for, what the ideal candidate would look like, what the salary ranges are, and then what the culture might be. But from the beginning of the process my job is to make sure that from the beginning of the process, we find someone really, really good. So we do a lot of the heavy lifting in the front to make sure that the candidates qualify, they meet the minimum qualifications and requirements and the credentials. And then also it's a good culture fit for the position and they're closable. And then also if they, would I hire this person for my company? Is this person a long-term investment for the company? And then is this person can pass background.
So you'll go through like a lot of executive assistants applying, or you'll go through a lot of them, interview them, and then you'll find like the top.
Exactly. So essentially, I find the best candidates in the market and bring them to the client for them to interview, and then finally decide if they want to make a hire.
Yeah.
I'm Albert Preciado. If you like what you're watching and you want to learn from an entrepreneur that built 8 companies and makes over $30 million a year, text me at 213-277-6208 and let's make it happen.
So how long would it take you to bring me like how many candidates do you usually bring? Like 3, 5, or 10, or how many?
Ideally 10. Yeah. So 10. But 10, we would be talking to maybe.
But isn't that too many?
Or 30.
I would just tell you, like, just bring me the top 3.
Yeah, that works too. Yes.
Yeah, because then 10, I still have to talk to 10.
Right.
Just give me the top 3, and then I'll choose from there.
Yeah, so top 3 that works too.
How many do you have to go through to find the top 3? How long would it take?
So the most recent placement I had, I placed a PhD, a doctorate for physical therapy, over there in Orlando, Florida. It took me 9 candidates. They did 6 interviews, and then they picked 1. So that took about 2 to 3 weeks, plus the credentialing, because it's an institution. So it took about 4 weeks to hire that program director.
What's the salary for one of those?
That's $152,000.
Yeah. So the whole recruiting, you've been doing that for how many years?
For 8 years.
8 years?
Yeah.
What's the highest salary you've ever recruited?
The highest salary I've ever recruited was, it might be 152, or it could be 150. So I think 152. Yeah. Recently, actually.
Oh, so that was your biggest one.
That's a
Yeah.
with this company. Yeah.
You used to work in another company before?
Yeah. So I worked for the agency that I used to work as a nurse with.
Yeah.
So they hired me on as their recruiter.
And in total, in total gross profit,
Yeah.
for recruiting, how much have you brought in?
For my lifetime billing, gross profit, 21.7 million for the company.
Just in people that you brought, that you recruit, just the commissions that you bring in for the company.
Exactly. Yeah. Just on my own.
And this is, you said, in 7 years?
8 years.
8
I
years.
started my my recruiting career in 2016. Yeah. So, but before that, I was also a nurse recruiter.
So that's $3 million a year.
Nice.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So you have an eye for talent.
I do. Yeah. I know how to recruit the best candidates. Yeah. And I know who the best candidates are usually.
How do you know that?
Yeah. We just know. We ask them a bunch of questions. We get to the know right away. Hey, can you make the schedule? Can you meet the company culture? Do you have the skills and requirements? Can you pass background? So we do a lot of vetting in the very beginning and fish out for any red flags, because my job is, I work on a contingent basis, so it's commission based. So my job is to be able to find the best candidates for the client. So at the end of the day, when they do extend the offer, I can close the deal and get paid. Yeah.
Do you offer like a guarantee, money back guarantee, like if the recruit doesn't work out?
Yeah, we do typically with the candidate, if they pay on time, if the client pay on time, we offer a 90-day guarantee.
So those 90 days you have to be sure that, do you ever get like customers or clients that are like, hey, I want to replace this person before the 90 days?
Very rarely. Yeah, because again, that comes in the beginning of the process. We want to make sure that we do our own due diligence to make sure that this person's going to work out long term, that this is going to be a long-term investment for our client. So to help them make more money and create more revenue for the company. Yeah.
What kind of questions do you ask that you ask all the time, that are like the ones that bring you the answers that you want? Because, for example, like if I would ask, I like to ask people, oh, what do you like to do for hobbies or on the weekends?
Yeah.
And then like somebody that's not, I mean, most people are not smart, but they'll tell me, oh, well, I like to smoke a little bit of weed, and I like to do a little bit of, I go out to nightclubs, and then I'm already like, oh yeah. They might be late on Mondays.
Yeah.
They might, and then you look at, and then another thing is when you see their social media, it gives it away.
Yeah.
Because on social media, you could find a bunch of bad habits. Yeah. And so I like to look at their social media, and also like what they do for hobbies, weekends, and so I don't ask him, right? I just ask him, hey, so what do you do for fun? Yeah. And then they'll just start yapping, and then I'm like, oh, okay. Well, yeah. Because you can't ask certain things in California.
Exactly.
So like, or are you able to ask because you're a recruiter, or you also can't ask?
It just depends. I typically ask. Yeah. Yeah, because I'm not the employer. Yeah.
That's right. So like an employer cannot ask anything. Right. But as a recruiter, you could, right?
Yes.
Are you able to tell me, like, can you tell me all like the dirty secrets of like people that I'm about to hire?
There really isn't no secret. It's just a matter of delivering the best candidates for the client. So we ask, why are you looking for work? Like, what's got you? Are you just looking around or shopping around?
Like, what if a client, for example, or somebody that you're recruiting, they fit the job. Okay. And you're like, oh, this person's going to be good. Yeah. But then they tell you, I have a side hustle. I go to this place and I dance in the night, and I don't get home till like 3-4 in the morning. Yeah. And you're like, ooh, that might be a problem. Are you able to tell the person that's hiring, like, hey, I think this person does some things in the nights that they might not be beneficial to your business. Can you do that or no?
I can, yeah. I'll ask, and again, vet, like, hey, So is this person doing it to get paid for the side hustle or
for extra money?
For extra money? Yeah. So I would usually, do you think this is going to be, conflicting with, with this primary job that you have? And then if, depending on the answer they give me, I was like, no. So that's like a little hesitation. So I would also, if it goes back to like the background and the experience and the skill set that they have also.
Yeah.
So, I could always bring it up to the client and say, hey, I could present it to them, but they have this side hustle.
Because I don't like people that have like side hustles. I like people that just work, that are just 100% committed.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, if you could make more money if you help make more sales.
Right.
So like if somebody's working for me and they have a side hustle, I'll be like, well, why can't you help? Why can't we sell more here and you make more money? The company makes more money.
Right.
So that's what I believe in.
Yeah. That's what you want. If you are the client, I would move on to the next candidate. Yeah.
It's like for example, you heard of Andy Elliott?
Yes.
So I was over there in Arizona and he has like a bunch of salespeople, but they're all selling for Andy Elliott.
Right.
They're there, they stay long hours and they sell, but they're selling the company. Like they're not doing like side hustles.
Right.
So that's what I like. I'm like, why can't we grow together?
Right. Right.
But like what about people that are good interviewers and then once they go to the job, they show you the real them? Because there's some people that are very good interviewers. Like we've interviewed some people and we're like, whoa. I don't interview people, but like Sil and the team have interviewed people and they're like, wow, such a great person.
Right.
I found the perfect match.
Right.
And then after they join, they're watching YouTube during work hours.
Right.
They're wasting a lot of time. They're just gossiping every moment they get with other employees. But when they interview, they're like very sharp and very professional. And they're like, yes, you know what? I'm super focused and da, da, da. Like, how do you find the truth?
Yeah, sometimes it's really hard because we're working with people.
Yeah.
But that's where the guarantee comes in.
Yeah.
So if at any time a candidate doesn't work out, we both all agree that this person's the best fit based on the information that we receive from the client, from the candidate. Sometimes another thing that would help is to put the person in front of all the hiring managers or the decision makers. If you, if you still think that this person won't be able to work out with the family. But typically that's where the guarantee comes in. So it's 90-day guarantee. If it doesn't work out, they start to show the true colors. You let me know right away, and then we're going to start our search at no additional cost.
Yeah. And then what about when you're recruiting? Do you like people that are 20 years experienced in the position that might have bad habits, old habits? Or do you like people that are maybe 1 year, 2 years experience that are very coachable? I don't know if you know what I mean, but
yes,
I rather hire somebody that's qualified, where I can get him cheaper and I can grow them. They can grow with the company and get increases over time, versus somebody that you're going to pay top dollar. They have 20, 30 years of experience, but they don't really have 20, 30 years of experience. They have 1 year of experience repeating it 20, 30 times. So I'd rather get fresh, new talent that has more potential. Well, how do you decide on, I have this person that just graduated from Berkeley 6 months ago. Super talented, very techie. They know how to use social media. They know how to use computers very well. They're very, very advanced with the new stuff that's out right now. Versus, this person's 30 years of experience. They don't know how to use a computer. I mean, I'm exaggerating, but they don't believe in Chat GPT. They don't believe in technology. They want to do it the old school way. Like, how do you decide who's better in that aspect?
Yeah, it comes back to what the client wants. So we do a lot of intake with the client,
Yeah.
and they typically let me know what they're looking for. So if they want someone very green and, they want someone to like train and eventually, bring up a candidate to be able to help the company grow, or someone that's already been in the trenches and has a lot of experience and just take over for the position.
Why would somebody want somebody that's 30 years experience? Do you ever get people that are like, I want somebody very experienced?
No, typically the senior level range is between 5 to 10. But rarely 20 or 30 years. Yeah. I mean, I've hired someone with 20, 30 years, but it was for a school. So teaching students in higher education. So that would be helpful. If we're looking at about 20, 30 years of experience, they're not really, they're done with all the technical stuff, but they just want to teach their practice that they've been able to.
Like history?
Yeah.
Like who's the president from 30 years ago?
Yeah, probably.
Dinosaurs, man.
Exactly. But yes.
Yeah.
So it just, so it would be very, very, it's based on the client.
Well, let me ask you a question. So you went to college, you got your degree.
Yep.
Has any of that helped you in what you're doing now?
Yes, it actually got my foot in the door for recruiting. So the agency that I used to work for as a nurse hired me on as their recruiter. So at the time, they didn't just give it to me. At the time when I was working as a nurse, they have this thing called a fast cash, where you would call in on Mondays when they open, and you can get paid for the week that you worked previously. So I would call in on Monday
with interest, right? They would charge.
No, nothing. So it would be like, something that you could use right away. They'll cut the check, but there's no direct deposit. So you got to go into the office. So I worked for a mid-size family-owned business at the time. And I would go in to the office to pick up my check every Tuesday. And one day I walk in, and one of the desks, so there's 3 desks at the front when you walk into to the office. There's 3 desks. And one day, one of the office was the desk was clean where the recruiter was. So I went directly to the office manager's office at the time and asked her, like, "Hey, are you guys looking for a recruiter?" They said no, right? So every week I went in there and kept on asking. And then a year later, when I was at a gas station getting ready to go to work for my shift, I worked the PM shift as a nurse. I get a call from the VP. So I picked it up. He said, "Hey, Dex, you still want to be a recruiter?" I said, "Yeah." And so I started the next day. So that's how I started my recruiting business.
And were you making less money there than what you're making now?
Yes.
Yeah. Was the commission just less, or was it because you were not experienced?
Correct. So I had to work my way up. So yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now what are your plans for what you're doing? Because you're making good income there, and you're very good at what you do. You have a lot of experience. I know you're working on your personal brand.
Yes.
What is your goal for the next 12 to 24 months?
I'm Preciado. If you like what you're watching and you want to learn from an entrepreneur that built 8 companies and makes over $30 million a year, text me at 213-277-6208 and let's make it happen. I
mean, my goal is, I see what you're doing, building a community, but my goal is to build my personal brand so I could get, as many people to get to know my services and to get to know my brand as a recruiter.
And what about other things you do on the side?
Yeah.
Do you? I know you're into fitness, right?
Yeah, super into fitness. Yeah, that's.
Why don't you just become a fitness coach?
I could. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could be. Something
you work out a lot?
Yeah, I like to stay healthy and fit. I work out maybe 5 to 6 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What do you like better, recruiting or coaching fitness?
I like recruiting better because the money's good. Yeah.
But you could also be like like Wes Watson.
Yeah.
You know Wes Watson?
I know Wes Watson. Yeah.
He makes a lot of money teaching people fitness.
Yeah. Yeah. I
stuff.
trained with Wes Watson.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, I think
Yeah.
I saw you there before.
Yeah.
Did you go to one of his masterminds?
No, I just did one of his programs. So we
Mm.
still, meet every week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. That's good. So what is for your fitness thing?
mhm.
What are you wanting to grow that, and also like with your recruiting, like do you want to do more recruiting? Do you want to
Mhm.
double triple the income you're making there? Like what kind of future do you see yourself there?
Yeah, with recruiting, I see myself at least making 100 grand a month. Would be very, very sustainable for me. I mean, as far as the coaching goes, again, I'm here to learn from you and building a personal brand. So I'm thinking of building my fitness page to be able to get my foot in the door with other opportunities to be able to meet other business owners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for the recruiting, is it possible to make 100K a month where you are right now?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
What would you need for that?
I would need to bring in 300K every quarter. Yeah, or more in billing. So I would need more clients. I would need more clients. I would need more, reoccurring clients. I would need to branch into maybe consulting and doing contract work. Yeah.
And right now, your clients,
Yeah.
you search them on. Do you ever get any clients from like social media, like LinkedIn or things like that?
I haven't yet, but LinkedIn, yes. So I do a lot of outreach on LinkedIn with the clients. So I build relationships there. I tap into different networks on LinkedIn, different groups. So I kind of join different groups on there to see who's looking for work, who's hiring. But primarily not on Instagram. I haven't had any leads. I actually, before I came to your event, the Driven event, last month, my Instagram was on private. So, and I think I heard you say like, yo, you need to build your personal brand. So I ended up I think that day I switched it to public. Yeah.
Yeah. So talk about that really quick. So what got you to attend the Driven event? Like, how did you find the Driven event? Because you had no clue who I was, right? Or nothing.
Yeah. So I was scrolling on Instagram. I was finally back. I took a layoff from Instagram to just be able to focus and zone in. I quit all the TV. I quit. I stopped drinking. I don't do drugs. I don't smoke.
So you used to drink before Driven?
No. Oh yeah. Well, no. So a year before that. So before I started working for this new company. That I'm working for now.
So you quit drinking a year ago?
Yes.
You haven't had a sip? Nothing?
No.
Not even a beer?
No.
No?
Yeah. No. But because I really wanted to focus and build my business here.
Yeah.
I wanted to.
Does your girl drink?
She does. Yeah. She drinks champagne. She drinks wine. She likes to go to the.
Should have brought her. We have a lot of champagne.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, she would have loved it here.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is.
So like you don't like when she drinks champagne, you don't feel like a little weird?
No. She understands. I mean, she knows. Like I'm fully committed to my work.
Because usually when one doesn't drink and the other does,
yeah,
you could kind of smell the alcohol more when they have like one glass.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother you?
No, not at all. Because the day that I stopped drinking, I committed to myself that I wasn't going to drink anymore. So yeah.
But even like if you kiss and everything, if you taste the alcohol, like you don't have a problem with that?
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
I mean it's different. Yeah. But yeah.
I would crave it. Like if I stop drinking and then my girl's drinking,
yeah,
I would be like, man, I want to have one too.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't bother me. I just don't go to those.
Did you
places.
drink a lot before?
I have. Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to. I mean, I used to party and stuff. But
so you made that commitment because you want to really blow up your business, right?
Exactly.
Once you blow it up, are you gonna drink again or no?
Probably not. I like being not sober.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really have.
You didn't have more
desire.
fun when you were drinking?
It was fun at the time. I mean, but now
You
I'm
probably forgot how it feels, huh?
I'm more mission driven now, so
Yeah.
I think that's just going to be a distraction for me.
Yeah.
At least for me, in my opinion.
But you said you also did drugs?
No, I didn't
Oh,
do drugs.
just drinks. You just used to drink and party.
Yeah.
And did you also? But you've worked out your whole life, right? Or you always like exercise? Or you just started-
No way. I was really skinny. I mean, I tried to get into sports to fit in back in high school, but I started really taking like fitness seriously in 2013. But since then, I've been consistently working out, maybe like 3, 4, sometimes 5 days a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's good. So
Yeah.
your girl, she's your fiance? You told me.
She is, yes, my fiance, Kelly.
Her name is Callie?
Kelly, yes.
Oh, my daughter's name is Kelly.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kelly.
So you met Callie where and when did you propose?
Yeah, interesting question. So the agency that I worked at before I worked at this new company, she was one of my recruiters. So I oversaw 3 recruiters. So we met at work. And then
So you just did you like her right away? You saw her and you're like, oh, she's the one, or did it take you some time? You were working together and then.
Yeah, it took some time. I mean, just like any relationship.
So wasn't you weren't attracted at first sight?
I was. Yeah, I mean, she came in. She was blonde. She's fresh out of college, very educated.
Yeah.
So I thought she was hot.
And back then you did drink.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then I would, invite her out.
Yeah.
We were drinking. So she started in 2018, and then I fully committed to her. She changed my life. I mean, I think.
How did she change your life?
Yeah. So before that, I would go out on Sundays. I would go to the bars, right, with my friends. Like I wasn't really, didn't have any goals, or I didn't have any, no direction before I met her. But when I decided wanted to be with her, I made her my girlfriend, and I was able to save a lot of money in the bank account. We were able to travel to places that we've never been to. So she changed my life. So that's why I've decided, and we have the same goals. Like we're parallel together. She does her own thing. I do my own thing. We all have the same vision in the future. So
you guys live together?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For how long?
We lived together now since I think she moved in, and we met 2018. I decided and committed right there, 2018, and then she moved in on 2019. And then since then we've been living together. Yeah.
That's good because I think you should live together before you get married. Some people get married and they've never lived together, and then once they move in together, it's a disaster.
Yeah.
Yeah, people like different when they live with you. It's different.
Right.
Then you get all their habits.
Yeah. No, she's got good habits. She works out. I mean, all she wants to do is work and grind. Like she's I mean, she's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're gonna get married in Maui?
Yes. So I proposed to her at the Hyatt Regency.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. So,
with the penguins.
With the penguins. Yeah. I proposed to her last year in April. I actually brought her parents there. They knew, right? So I called her on the down low. So before that, I got the ring. I called the parents. I FaceTimed them. I was like, hey, I'm just here to ask for your blessing. Here's the ring. I would like to, ask your daughter to marry me. Both of her parents said yes. So I ended up planning it was supposed to be a trip for Mother's Day, right? So it was April, May. We stayed at the Hyatt Regency. I got one of those top suites for them. They loved it. And I hired a planner to be able to set the whole thing up right there on the beach. And I proposed. I had all my family back there.
It's funny. Experience. You know where I proposed in the Turtle Beach Bay.
Nice, Oahu.
Yeah. Where they filmed that movie, with that tall, long-haired guy.
Yeah.
What is that movie called? Turtle Bay.
Blue Crush.
I think
that's another one. Yeah, Blue Crush. That's the surfing movie, right?
It's you know which movie I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
There's this really cute I think her name is Kuna or Ki. What's her fucking name? She's a brunette, like really, really cute brunette.
Yeah.
But she comes out in the movie, and it's a surfing movie. But that's where I saw that Turtle Bay Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
So like I wanted to go there, so I went there, and I also shipped the ring from LA to Oahu.
Okay.
In a laptop box.
Nice.
So that way she wouldn't know. So I got a delivery from FedEx.
Yeah.
And we picked it up. And she was like asking me like, why are we coming here to FedEx in the middle of our trip, a vacation trip? And I said, well, because I just bought a laptop and they sent it to me. They overnighted it. I needed my laptop for work.
Yeah.
You know, so then she was showering, and then I went outside to open the box, but it was like a box after a box after a box. Finally, I got to the ring.
Yeah.
And then that night we had a dinner date, and that's when I gave her the ring over there in Turtle Bay.
Yeah.
So we kind of have the same style.
Yeah.
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 So
awesome.
so when you got engaged, you said you're gonna marry her in Maui as well?
Yes. So we're going back actually to visit in
Yeah.
October. We're going to go check out some places, but we don't have a set date yet, but we know that we're going to be, that's her favorite place. So that's where we're going to get married. And that's where most of my family is too. So it only makes sense for us to go to Maui.
So she already knew about Maui before you, or you took her there and she liked it?
She was there when she was like still with her family at the time, but she liked it more when I brought her there because I was able to show her Hana, Black Rock down by Kaanapali Beach.
Yeah. So she used to live in Maui too?
No. She went to school to SDSU, San Diego State. So, but she lives in Chico. Well, she's from Chico,
Yeah.
so she went to college in San Diego.
But you said
State.
she had been in Maui before.
Yes,
before you,
with her family, like when she
Got
was
it.
maybe a little younger.
Got it.
Yeah,
And you have a bulldog?
a French bulldog. Yeah,
Just one?
two.
Oh, you have two.
Yeah,
Yeah.
two French bulldogs. Yeah.
So you right now you live with your fiance and your two French bulldogs.
Yes.
In San Diego.
Yep. Yeah.
What do you see from yourself in 5 years from now? Like what in 5
Yeah.
years? Where is Dex gonna be?
Yeah, I mean, I see what you're doing. I would like to be in your shoe one day, 5 years from now.
Like what part? Like the Ferrari, the kids, the money, the problems.
What you've built, like
Yeah.
the value that you deliver,
I'm our Preciado. If you like what you're watching and you want to learn from an entrepreneur that built 8 companies and makes over $30 million a year, text me at 213-277-6208 and let's make it happen.
like the community that you're building, the impact you're making in the community.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's not too bad with the Ferraris, the kids, the wife, all that stuff too. That's
I
all.
think the impact is the best part
Yeah.
because it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, a lot of problems,
Right.
a lot of ups and downs.
Right. Yeah.
So the impact
Yeah.
in other people is what makes it worth it.
Right.
Because in that the more money you make, it's true, the more problems you get.
Right. That's just how it goes. And I
Yeah.
think like the drive, like the courage that you took to get to where you are, the connections that you had to make,
Yeah.
just like your overall story and experience is kind of relatable to me.
Yeah.
At least in my mind.
Now question about recruiting. So are you hiring people to work under you as well? Do you train other recruiters?
Yeah.
Do you do that?
We could. I haven't decided to do that yet, but we do have a team of 10 people in our division. We have about 30. So
30 recruiters?
30 recruiters overall in our whole company right now. There's 427 recruiters.
427?
Yeah. Yeah. So
So it's a big company.
it's huge. Yeah. We actually downsized. We were at 700. And then just 2 quarters ago, we brought it down to 427.
You got rid of all the weak ones?
All the weak ones. Yeah. You have to.
So out of the 400 right now, what are you like top 3, top 5?
This week, I'm top 3. I ranked 3 this week, but that could change. I mean, it's super competitive, But I think that's
Who's the highest earner in the company?
it varies. So there's either this guy named Duran or Shazad. So they're always going back and forth, but they have 10 years of experience. So this is just
How much do they make a month?
a lot. Yeah, a lot. Yeah. So
Are they making 6 figures a month?
yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least. Yeah. And they're making 7 figures the whole entire year. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just guessing. I'm not too sure, but I mean, yeah.
Well, when your personal brand blows up, everybody's gonna want to hire you to be the recruiter.
That's the goal. Yeah.
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 Because you really enjoy it.
I do. Yes, I do. I mean, I see what you're doing, so I think it's possible. I mean, it's changing my beliefs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, if anybody here wants to hire you,
Yeah.
For recruiting, or if anybody here wants to hire you for fitness coaching, I don't know if you launched it yet. Have you launched it? Are you training people already? Or?
I'm trying. Yeah, I'm trying. Yeah. But they could still reach me. Yeah.
Yeah. But all you got to do is just put a landing page.
Okay.
And just have people go there and pay you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if somebody and we'll go over that. I think I have a good idea with that.
Okay.
How we can do that, and it's easy because I've been doing that for a while, so it's very easy.
Right.
And if somebody wants to hire you, reach out to you. Where can they find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram. That's DEX DIONIO, or you can find me on LinkedIn. It's Dexter Dionio. You can also send me an email at dexter.dionio@jobot.com. And Dionio is DIONIO.
Dionio.
Yes, sir.
Dexter Dionio.
Yeah.
What do you guys like better, Dex or Dexter?
Dex is cool. I like Dex.
Dex?
Yeah.
It sounds more cool. Like
that's it. We're sticking with that.
Dex.
Yeah.
Dex.
Yeah.
All right, brother. So I'll put all your information below.
Sure.
And then people reach out to Dex if you want to hire a position, whether it's a CFO, a CEO, a controller, accountant, whatever.
Yep.
He'll help you find the best one. He's killing it in where he works at, and it's hiring is very important. We're actually going to go over like all the hiring and firing and the process at the mastermind, but you're on your way, man. And then if somebody wants to hire them for how to get a 6-pack, you got some 6-pack abs?
I could, yeah.
You want to get some 6-pack abs, some muscles, reach out to him.
Yep.
And thank you, Dex.
Thank you, Albert. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.